Hi everyone, I'm Brianna and welcome to Roll Initiative. Today we're going to be talking about how to roleplay your character in D&D without needing to do an accent. So, let's get started. There are so many different ways to roleplay, and doing an accent is only part of one. A lot of people watch D&D being played by the likes of Critical Role and think that you have to do voices like them. Voices with accents, and they have to be really good at it. But you do not need a degree in acting to roleplay. So let's have a look at some of the different ways that you can roleplay. To figure out what type of roleplay you enjoy, first you need to find out what perspective you like speaking in. Do you like speaking as your character, talking as them and saying what they are saying? Such as, I walk up to the guard and say, "Greetings, good sir. I come with grave news from the south. Allow me to enter the upper city that I may warn your king." That's role-playing in first person. If you prefer describing what your character does, such as saying, "My character goes up to the guard and tells him that we have urgent news for the king," then that is role-playing in third person. And honestly, I use a mix of both. I roleplay in third person when I'm describing what my character does. I won't say I walk up to the guard, I'll say my character walks up to the guard. But then when I actually talk as my character, I will talk in first person, talking as my character would. These are both just different styles of roleplay. Neither is better than the other. To do a voice, you don't need to do an accent. A lot of people think that to do a voice, you have to be a voice actor or you have to be able to do accents so that people can tell it's not just your voice. But the truth is, there are a lot of different ways to do voices without doing any of that. You can change things such as your pitch, how high you're talking or how low you're talking, and the human ear is very good at picking up small differences in pitch. And this is especially useful for DMs who have multiple NPCs in a room so that everyone can tell who's talking while not having completely different weird voices for all of them. You can just alter your pitch a bit and everyone's going to know that you're talking a bit differently. Then they're going to know that you're talking in character. Or you can do something like change your speed that doesn't require you to change your voice at all. Just talking a lot faster can make your character seem really energetic or even really happy. Whereas if you talk slower, then your character might seem a bit more thoughtful, or whether they have a bit more knowledge, or are a bit more careful with what they say. It can also make a big difference between how old your character feels. A younger character seems more likely to talk much faster and more energetically, whereas an older character seems more likely to talk slower and maybe deeper. But while all of this is really good for understanding how your voice works and how to use it to make different sounding voices, my favorite way for finding a voice is to think of a character from a show or a movie or even an actor and imagine their voice for your character. If you can find someone who would have a voice or would play your character or who is similar, then you can try and do a voice from a character you know or an actor you know. That way you have a base for what your voice sounds like. And even if your impersonation isn't that good and you don't really sound like them, then you still have something to go off. And to be honest, it might be better because no one will recognize the voice. A really awesome way to add more to your roleplay without even having to do anything with your voice is to change your body language. If your character talks very dramatically, try using a lot of hand gestures. Or if you play a very nervous character, then you can constantly be rubbing your hands together, twiddling your thumbs, or constantly fidgeting. And if you're playing a shifty character, then you can kind of slouch forward when you're talking. Even doing simple things like this can really make your character feel alive as you play them at the table, and can help all of the other players to see your character. But there we go, that's the end of this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it and that it was helpful. And if it was, then I'd be really grateful if you'd consider giving it a like, or maybe even subscribing to my channel. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.